Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Daddy Daughter Dishes. I am your host, Kiara, and with me, I have my lovely co host.
BJ the daddy.
He is the daddy, I'm the daughter, and this is Daddy Daughter Dishes, episode 24. Kobe!
The Mamba episode.
The Mamba episode, or the 24 hours in a day episode, but we going with Kobe.
We going with Kobe. We going with Kobe.
Kobe.
I mean, what
we could
better
go with me
to follow up?
We could go with me.
We could go with you. You know what? I ain't even think about that. That might be better than Kobe. This is the Kiara episode.
I mean, based on my notes, we might be going with me. Based on my notes, we might be going with me. Well, we can call it the K episode. It's Kobe and Kiara. I'm happy to share this episode with Kobe.
Hey, what better way to follow up the MJ episode than with the Kobe episode? Because I mean, MJ, Kobe, in that order. I mean, as far as GOAT conversations, yeah.
And then you got me.
You got 1A and 1B. And then you got you.
But yeah, we did have a GOAT episode last week. We got a lot more traction on that on the last episode because I shared
it was the jokes.
It was the jokes. You get them in with the jokes. They come for the jokes. They stay for the content. And they stayed because I heard people was telling me, texting me things, and I'm like, oh wow, you watch? That's crazy. But yeah, I was happy to hear it. So if y'all are new listeners, what's up? Welcome. If you're new here,
welcome.
We talk a lot of junk. We share a lot of experiences. We have a lot of laughs. And we have fun with it.
That's right. It's kind of like I kind of touched on a Facebook post on the Daddy Daughter Dishes page. You know, if you're new, if you're already flying with us, thank you. If you're not, please join us and spread the word. Like, spread this goodness, because that's all we spreading, this goodness around here. Get a couple of laughs. Every now and then we get on the serious note and talk about some good social issues and mental health issues and, overall wellness issues. So come on in and ride with us.
And I learned from my husband, I get insight from, our what do you call that? Research. I learned that some people are getting...
The R&D department.
Yeah, some people, I consulted with some of our research participants, and some folks are actually getting current news events from this podcast, and it's having them go and research a little bit more into the things we talk about. And so I was like, just keeping up with the headlines.
I don't mind saying something that ain't right for have somebody to come back and correct us. I'll say some wrong shit on purpose sometimes.
I know you will. I know you will. And it's always a debate of whether I should keep it in the episode or delete it when I'm editing. I'm like, how much do I care about my future?
I don't do that on purpose. That was just...
I know you don't. But how have you been since the last episode? How has your week been? You said, don't forget to tell you about the old man today. I say you start with today.
Start with today and work. Let's start.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to. So you don't have to.
It's been a pretty good week since the last recording. I was getting a kick out of them jokes. I think last time I looked, it was getting close to like 1,500 views on that clip. I think I might have watched it 100 times because I was just... I'm
absolutely contributing to the, and the last one ain't even on there, I don't think, and that's the funniest one. The last one is on TikTok though, but that shit is hilarious. I was like, dude, we are funny. We're funny. We are funny. It's the way
So
your reaction was hilarious and on point.
Yeah, that was just a joy to watch. So after that episode, let's see, the following day I had a therapy session because now my therapy sessions are down to like once a month. So I had a good therapy session last Thursday. Talked about some personal stuff that's going on and some personal endeavors that may be coming up and a couple of possible life changes. Um, then on Friday, what I do on Friday? Got off work, went and I bought a 12 pack of beer, which I'm not a big beer buyer. Like
What brand?
I've recently not even been Michelob Ultra
Oh, okay.
sponsorship ding ding, but yeah, I was on the way home. Because I spent the weekend in Ullen in Southern Illinois. Didn't go to the SIP. And that Friday, I said, man, Rodney's at the house. I'm gonna stop and get a 12 pack of beer, put some ice in my cooler, and we're gonna go by his house and we're gonna drink a few beers. And that's sure enough what happened. We didn't really do nothing, just sitting around shooting the
Just sitting
shit
around.
and just sitting around shooting the shit and him being him and Felicia. And then on Saturday, I got a tree. If you remember that tree in front of the house,
Hanging over the
they had
bedroom.
that big. Yes, finally had that tree trimmed down Saturday.
I thought you was gonna say it fell.
No, it did like it's been doing for the last 15 years. Every time it storm, a different branch hits the house. I don't know how that happened because the tree ain't doesn't have many branches, but
It
that big
don't.
one was leaning over the house. And
That's Anne Marie tree.
I had a
That's her. She
I
said,
guess
"I'm
so,
still
because
here."
I thought the tree was dead a while back, but it's still providing some nice shade. So I didn't have it cut all the way down. I just got the part that was leaning over the house, had it cut down. And it got extremely hot on Sunday. And so I paid the guy to just trim it up. And I told him to leave what he cut because my brother might want some of it for firewood and I'd
Mm-hmm.
clean up the rest. My special ass. So, now, let's see. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday the weather was beautiful last week.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunday morning when I got up, the weather was decent. But Sunday around noon, it got hot. And what
Hell
I
opened
decided
up.
to do,
You decided
I
to go.
decided to take my dumb ass out there and clean up that tree during the hottest part of the day. And when I tell you that was probably the dumbest thing I could have ever done, I was wore out after because I was out there by myself. And
What
but I got it
you could have
cleaned
made me
up
yell at you? Cause why is you doing strenuous activities by yourself? You ain't got nobody
on my
around.
day
You
off.
could have passed out or something.
I almost
You ain't
did too.
got no life alert. You know your phone was probably out of reach. Oh my
My
god!
phone was in the house.
I'm gonna have to put
Hey,
a
it's
tracker
funny you
on
mentioned.
you. We need to
I put
get you
the
an Apple
phone in the
Watch or
house.
something.
I left the phone in the house on purpose because I said if I take this phone out here, I'm gonna get distracted and I ain't gonna get done. So I left the phone in the house. I had plenty to drink though. I had the leftover beers from the night.
And you wasn't drinking no water? Oh my god! I'ma beat you up.
I didn't. I didn't realize it was gonna be that hot, Sonny. I didn't. I didn't. It caught me off guard, but I got it done anyway. I made it through. Uh,
Yeah, you ain't
let's
gonna
see.
slip past the you
Saturday.
almost passed out part either. I heard that part. I'm gonna let you slide.
So I'm gonna go back to Saturday. Saturday was a pretty good day. So what happened Saturday? We got up, had a tree cut down. I went to visit my brother Graham, Uncle Robert Earl, and his
Hmm.
grandbabies and great grandbabies. And then Marilyn, shout out to Marilyn Coleman, and her sons Reggie, Ramon, Rocky. They all put on a surprise 50th birthday party for Marilyn. And man, when I tell you we had a good time at that party, got to see some old faces that went to school with Marilyn and TT Edgy. Hadn't seen those people in years. And we danced. Everybody danced. It was a good time. Had
Y'all
a
had a
good
good
time.
wang dang
Skip
doodle.
showed up. It was almost a wang dang doodle shebang bang.
Oh,
And it
wow.
was a good time.
That's good.
What?
Nothing. I said that's
But and
good.
then I got to see Mari too, because I wasn't expecting to see her there. Her and your mama came through. Then after that, me and Skip and Uncle Dave and DJ, Donisha and Barb, we all went to the bowling alley and bowled a couple games.
Y'all get
And
some
then after
pizzas.
that, DJ was like, Uncle, let's go to the casino. I'm like, man, I don't mess around with no damn casino. He was like, we ain't doing nothing else. Let's roll. So we rolled to the casino. They had a live band there, and everybody that was at the party had ended up showing up at the casino. So
Where was the
it was kind of an
party?
extension to the party was at the Osage Center in Cape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it was cool. And then Sunday, like I said, I got up and cleaned that damn tree up and made my way back up here to Evansville. And this week so far, work has been like working in a fucking oven because it's been hot as hell outside. Like when I'm drenched in sweat, my clothes are wringing wet from sweat from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. That makes for a miserable ass day. Like I do my
That's
best not to
terrible.
complain about work. But these last few days, this week at work, it has been crazy. I can't remember it being. I've worked in the heat before. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or
No,
what, but it's been freaking
no.
hot.
It's
It's been
because the
freaking
world is
hot.
getting hotter. We are feeling the results of global warming. The world is ending right before
I
our
guess
eyes,
so.
and everybody's just like, "Oh my god, we're breaking temperature records. Haven't been like this in 80 years." So we having fucking hurricanes and shit. Everybody's like,
Earthquakes.
this is a once in a lifetime phenomenon. Yeah. Did I not
Okay.
say anything?
Wait a minute. What the hell is a hurricane?
When you
Hurricane.
have the hurricane and an earthquake at the same damn time, like they have it on the West Coast. They used to the earthquakes,
They
but they
have
ain't
the.
used to the hurricanes. They like
Oh shit!
they hurt. So you
They done
hurricaking,
threw them for a loop.
threw it for a loop, and it's
Yeah.
gonna
So
keep throwing us for loops. But yeah, you keep on
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
So what kind of
It's just been
safety
hot.
measures do y'all have in those? Like, is there ever like a time? Like, do y'all get? Are y'all supposed to get certain? Because y'all like, what are y'all supposed to get?
Look at my face.
I see your
Look at my.
face.
What you mean? What are we supposed to get? What do you
Like,
mean? Ain't
do
no.
y'all get mandatory 10-minute breaks? Like,
Oh, we grown ass men when it comes to that. You don't have to tell us to take a break. So
okay, so
okay, here's the
y'all
thing
are
with
self
linemen.
governing. Y'all can be like, I'm gonna go. I know what to go do. Okay, so it's like you do your job, and nobody really gonna bother you for it. Okay, got you.
Right. So as linemen and being a part of a brotherhood, in the union, we're supposed to be wired to look after each other anyway. So when you start working in temperatures, whether it be extreme heat or extreme cold, you're your brother's keeper. Like you supposed to, first of all, you check yourself. You always check yourself. But
Before you
when you
wreck
got
yourself.
type A personalities, and when you start talking about being a lineman, a lot of linemen are type A personalities. They just want to fucking get in there, get and do the work, and they ain't really concerned about nothing else. So at some point, somebody's got to be like, hey, let's take a break, or hey, man, you look like you finna pass the fuck out. Come over here and sit your ass down for a little bit. I'm past that stage. I will say this, so don't worry, because it ain't shit for me to say, hey, somebody need to get up here and finish this up because my ass finna go over here and stand in the shade and drink some water for a little bit.
You fell out this
But
bucket.
when you get some of the younger guys, you know, they a lot of them are trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to prove their worth, and they'll push it a little bit. So sometimes the older guys got to kind of pull them back and be like, "Hey, man, you got 20 years plus ahead of you. We ain't risking it all today. Today ain't the day. We ain't doing it today.
This is
Let's
a
chill out."
marathon. The
Yeah, not a
turtle, the
sprint.
tortoise versus the hare or something like that.
Hare.
The tortoise wins in the end. So move slow.
Yeah, so slow and steady wins the race. But so yeah, that's what we do that on our own. We don't need company like the company that they provide Powerades, Gatorades, water, popsicles. We've been eating a lot of popsicles this week.
The ones with electrolytes in them?
Yeah, they do a good job the company does
That's
a good
good.
job of supplying us with what we need to stay hydrated, and we've been taking breaks accordingly, And yeah, it's just been hot. It's been hot as fuck. But today, let me talk about today.
Oh, this is the old man.
We've been working in front of this old man's house. And this old man has been so helpful. I mean, he's been so generous with we had a wire pull that we had to set some equipment up in his yard. And he don't have to let us use his yard. And a lot of people would be like, you ain't fucking tearing up my yard. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. They don't like to see us coming until the lights go out. When the lights go out, then it's like, where are the linemen at? Where is everybody? Who's gonna fix my fire? But when we're trying to beef up the lines and trying to get some work done, it's like we're a big inconvenience. We just in the fucking way, and a big inconvenience to everybody, and they be cussing us out, running through our work zone, driving through our work zone, flipping us the bird, blowing the horn, all kind of shit while we're in the air trying to work with hot primary. Yeah, it's a pain that people can be some assholes. But anyway, this old man.
What is wrong with people?
They don't know. It's ignorance for the most part, but some people just assholes. But this old man, he's 97 years old. He a World War II veteran. And he just wanted to take a ride in the bucket truck. He said that was on his bucket list, and he wanted, if we could, he would be very happy if we could make that happen for him. When I tell you my heart got filled with joy.
My eyes are tearing up. What the hell? That's so cute.
I'm gonna tell you, if you had been on site, you would have been crying because I almost got emotional. I was so happy when it was brought to me that, we could actually do it. We got permission to do it. And you should have seen that man. He was so fucking happy. Like, he was 97 years old. We strapped him in a harness. It was just amazing. It was pretty awesome. It was awesome to see his joy. It's like it filled me up. I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. Like, and he got down. He said, man, that was the best ride of my life. I said, I'll be damn. Look at this shit. I said, this is what life, all the crazy shit you hear about going on in the world.
That's what life is about. It's them moments. That's what you be like, this is what I live for right here. This is what I chase.
This is it. This is it. It don't matter what color.
That feeling
it don't matter what color somebody is. It don't matter what background they from. That man, to see the joy on his face from that, it was just amazing. And it did our whole crew. It lifted a whole crew up. It was just an amazing day. It was just an amazing day. Everybody forgot about how hot it was then.
I was going to say, it distracted him from the heat for a little bit. Shit, I would have been scared to put him in the bucket. He might have passed out because of the heat. I'm like, all right, it's just funny because let us know if you get a little too hot.
No, so when it was brought to me, he said, hey, man, we're going to see if we could take this man up in the bucket, He's 97 years old. I said, I hope he don't get up there and decide to check out.
Yeah, he said it's the last item on my bucket list.
It's the last one. I got this one done. I'm out.
All right, I'll see y'all on the other side. Thanks for the last one.
Yeah, that's
y'all
crazy.
are assistant
Thank
to
God that didn't.
suicide. Yeah, no, because I can
Call
see
us
that
Dr.
going
Kevorkian.
a terrible number of
No,
ways.
it
But
did
I'm
not
glad it went
happen.
the
So
lovely way that it did.
it went the most amazing way. It was pretty fucking dope. And that's pretty much been a recap to my week. What's been going on with you? I know yesterday you told me you wasn't feeling well. And today you seem to be doing a lot better. I'm glad for that. What else has been going on with you
Yeah,
since we
so
last recorded?
Since we last recorded, I was not feeling well yesterday. I don't know what was wrong with my tummy, but it was not having it all day. And after I did some
All day long.
Googles all day long, I'm talking, I was on my way to work and I was like, damn, I might need to turn around and go home because this does not feel like a day that my stomach is going to act right. And I was right. I should have went home. But I'm on the keto-ish. I say keto, doing keto, but I'm doing keto-ish because I'm not, going cold turkey or nothing. But when your body is in ketosis, that's like one of the main like symptoms is nausea. And I was like, okay, because the first thing everybody say, of course, is, well, could
Is
you
you
be
pregnant?
expecting? And I'm like, obviously, if I didn't bring that up, is not the case. Like I've already deduced that from this scenario. So there's other things at play here. And so I'm like, nah, it's not that. I don't know what it is, but it ain't that. And then I'm like, and then when I Googled about the keto thing, because I also have this terrible like funk in the back of my mouth that I cannot get rid of. And I don't know if my breath actually smells that way, but I know it tastes that way. And I am disgusted. So all that being said.
So has Siege mentioned anything about your halitosis?
Nope.
No. He ain't gonna
and I would
say
hope
that.
he would, because I say something.
But would he
I
though?
I don't like stinky breath. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Since I don't like stinky breath, he would absolutely call my stinky breath out. He'd be like, oh no, get away from me. You're talking about my stinky breath. Your breath smell like dumpster juice. He'll be roasting me.
Goodness. I was wondering about that.
He would definitely tell me. That man, he don't hold back. Unless it's gonna really hurt my feelings, but we be going back and forth. But I mean, those are all negative side effects. But the good side effect of keto is I lost 16 pounds. So
16 pounds?
Pants fit a little looser.
I might need to get on the damn keto diet. Or keto-ish diet.
Start drinking a little more water and eating a little more green vegetables. Just ease into it that way. And try and avoid carbs. That's the hard
what
part.
Are those?
But when you get...
That's what I'm saying.
Potatoes.
When you say avoid carbs.
Rice.
Yep.
It's all your favorite stuff. Everything you like to eat. But there are keto-friendly options too. Like they have keto alternatives, and so far, all the alternatives that I've found have been pretty good, except for almond butter. That shit is terrible.
Almond butter. That's probably what's got the back of your mouth tasting all nasty.
I took one bite of it off the spoon, and I almost threw the whole thing away. I was like, I want peanut butter. So that's one sacrifice I do now. I'm like, I can eat a little, peanut butter snack. But yeah, so I do feel better. Shout out to keto. Even if I do have nasty breath. So since last week, we had our team outing with my design team, and so we went to go-karts, which I didn't even know was in the area. Like it was right up the street from our job.
There's a lot of stuff in the area you don't know that's there.
Bro, I didn't know we sponsored the practice arena for the Hurricanes, and it's in the same complex as the go-kart place. So I was like pulling up. I was like, I didn't know we had a hockey rink, like it's say Invisalign rink or something. I'm like, oh, we got it like that. But yeah, we had signed up for like it was called the Grand Prix. So it was like five different rides. And we only did 4 because 4 is enough. Everybody after 4 was like, this has been fun, but let's be done. We
Let's
all
do
grown
something
here.
else.
Yeah, let's I'm tired of accidentally bumping into y'all. But your girl, I mean, I like to toot my own horn when I know I'm finna do some good stuff. So I was talking trash. I was talking trash in the team group chat. And I was like, I can't wait wait for y'all to see what my dad and mom blessed me with this heavy foot. And sure enough,
Did you win?
There was 11 people there. I got 3rd place in almost every race. Couldn't get past these 2 because I hit this one. I couldn't figure out how he was doing it. I was like, I'm not even hitting my brakes, and I'm like, what? How are you getting faster than me? But I literally, like 2 of the races, I had 3rd place, and the 2nd place guy had beat me by like 0.001 millisecond. And I was like, that's some bullshit. Wow. They see my black face on that screen, so they put you above me. I ain't say that though. I ain't say that. But yeah, ghost of their asses.
You have a militant.
I might be. And
I remember when it started.
When did it start?
It started when I taught you that phrase. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
Oh yeah, that might be my origin story. That might be my origin story. But while we were at the go-kart place, and my manager she's like, y'all get whatever y'all want, like food wise, because it's a like little food place and bar too. So we all order our stuff and we sit down, we get to talking, we get a few drinks in us, and somehow we come up on a conversation where I'm talking to one of my fellow Black coworkers, and I say something, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, bet." And so someone over here, they like, what you just say? And I said, bet. And so that turned into us. It turned into us teaching them what certain words mean, and I just kind of going back to what you said, like, if social media makes us feel like we're supposed to be upset about like doing stuff like that, but in that context, I had found no issues sitting there explaining to them because first of all, I was shocked that they didn't know what it means.
Right.
It was bet, say less, and I think that was it. And so, and I'm like, I say this to you all the time in our Teams chat. Like, do you not know what I be saying? He was like, I mean, as long as I don't know.
You was giving a culture lesson at the event.
I said, look, if you ever had come across something you like, I don't know what that means. I think that's a them
ask
thing.
Questions. I
want to know. You can come ask me. I'm not gonna bust you out. I'm gonna educate you and I'm gonna tell you whether you should or should not use the word and what you know.
Absolutely.
And so it's been fun ever since then. Like at work today. At work today, I said something and he was like, "Okay, bet." And I was like, this man like a 54-year-old man. I'm talking about, he's talking about, okay, bet. And I'm like, wow.
Did you give him a gold star?
Hey,
did you give him a gold star for using it in the right context?
I sure did. I said, I see you. Because he also had on, when we went go-karting, we had to put on the black like things to protect our heads from the helmets. And so when he put it on,
like
he
a
looked
liner.
Yeah, he looked like a white boy with a do rag on. So that was even funnier. We talking, teaching him to say bet.
You
We
talking
was like,
about
he
right?
look, man, and that was
And
so
that's funny.
funny. That was such a fun experience. And
That's
then after that, we ended up going to a happy hour that I planned not too far from the go kart
mm,
place. So it was 10 of us
yeah.
there. Like 4 or 5 of us ended up going to happy hour. And so we went to happy hour at about 5 o'clock. We didn't leave happy hour
Mm-hmm.
till about 10 o'clock.
5 hours after happy hour was over.
Look, time going by. I told CJ like that morning, I was like, yeah, I got happy hour tonight, so I'll probably be home like around 7. And so he texted me and he was like, hey, what happened to 7? And I looked, it was like 8:15. I was like, ooh, I'm so sorry. And then I stayed longer. But it was really good, like talking to folks, and getting like to know them a little deeper. And it was like I was thinking, is this what my life is? Like I am intertwined. I'm asking people about their kids. So, how they enjoying the first week back? Did they do anything fun this summer?
you
Like,
you're developing your own little friend circle out there. Work circle,
that's
friend circle.
that's
You're getting
crazy to
into it.
me. That's crazy to me.
Why is that
That's
crazy
crazy
to
to
you?
me.
You're a sociable person.
Yeah, but it's still
You
crazy
just
to
I
me.
feel like you be overthinking your social skills sometimes.
Yeah, I really be wondering about my social skills sometimes because even like at work, like this week, one the big project I've mentioned it like a few times on here, but the big project I'm working on, like I'm finally in the presentation phase, finna move it forward with development. So I had to present to our consumer marketing team, and it was a pretty big deal, which I didn't think about it as a pretty big deal. I was just like, okay, I want to make it look good. But when I was presenting,
Right.
I all of a sudden get like I'm right before the meeting start, I'm good, and then it get time for me to speak, and I feel like I have a frog in my
Your
throat,
mouth get all cotton mouth and yeah.
and then my voice starts wavering, and even if I'm not nervous, that will make me nervous about my voice wavering because I'm like,
Mm.
dang, these people think I'm nervous. But ended up, I know my shit when it comes to design, and this project is my baby. So like, I was talking through it like it was nothing. So afterwards, everybody was saying they loved it. Um, and one of my coworkers, me and him work real close together on a lot of projects, and he's on that team. So after the call, I
Mm.
hit him up and I was like, all right, be honest with me. How did I do? And he was like, you did amazing. He was like, design and presentation. And I was like, presentation for real? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I was really nervous. I thought, y'all could tell. He said, no, you seem calm and collected. And then he sent me some resources about public speaking. And he was like, I took some of these. They helped early on. If you want to check those out, I was like, appreciate it. But I was like, I guess I'd be in my own
So
head.
so it's funny you talk about that. Not well, it's not funny you talk about that. In you talking about that, it makes me think about, so like you said, you know your shit in design, and that was your baby. You take them two things and you put them at the top. It doesn't matter what your uh, public speaking skills are. It doesn't matter how nervous you are. It doesn't matter how much you're swimming in your own head. When you go to talking about something that you absolutely know about, in whatever subject that may be, like for you it's design, and then you have put in this work on this particular project, which is your baby, your knowledge and your passion about that project in that particular design field is going to outshine anything else. There's nothing else
Mm-hmm.
because you're speaking from the soul. I liken it to somebody giving a speech. on a subject that they feel passionate about, or one that they just pulled out of a hat and had to go do some research about. You'll be able to tell the difference just in sitting there listening to them, because the passion, and the passion that is that accompanies a certain topic, it's going to flow through in how you present it. And if you just picked something versus whether you just pick something and you go do a little bit of research on it, you might have a little bit of umph about it, but at the same time, it's not.
It's
A
still gonna
person will
come
be able to
off.
tell the difference in the two, because one is happening organically, and is really no effort. You put in the work. So this part is like the fun part.
The fun
So
part.
you don't have to get. Yeah, it's the fun part. I liken it to when Michael Jordan was playing basketball, and they used to ask him about the playoffs and the big stages, and he used to tell people all the time, when I get to the game, hell, I'm having fun because I done put in the work in practice. We done all the work. When the ball is tipped up, now it's time to have some fun and go display. Let our work
Let's
speak
show
for
what we've been
itself.
working on.
And
Yeah.
exactly. And that's exactly how I look at that. It's the same thing with in anything. Like I can compare it to line work. When you're an apprentice, your job is to learn the basics. You know, you're learning the basics of everything from your first step apprenticeship all the way to the seventh step. And by the time you become a seventh step apprentice, you should be the mastered all the basics. That way, when you top out and you become a journeyman lineman, you're gonna have some apprehension. You're gonna have some nervousness about becoming a journeyman lineman, but at the same time, you don't lean on that. You lean on the work that you put in over the past few years in getting to that point. That's why I tell a lot of people. A lot of people think that when you top out and become a journeyman, that your journey is over. When it's no, your apprenticeship is your foundation. When you
Your
get that
title literally
ticket and
says
you're
it.
a
You on a
journeyman lineman
journey,
now,
man.
you're on a journey. Your journey just fucking begins, because you're going to learn more in the next 15, 20 years than you did in that 3.5 year apprenticeship. It's just
And that's that.
you should have a solid foundation to build on. And that's what
And
the
that in
apprenticeship
this,
program is all about.
yeah, and that in itself has been like, because I switched from, of course, like brand identity for like feminine based brands when I was working for myself, to more like sticking to a corporate style where I kind of have a lot more limitations. And so it's been feeling like a whole different experience of like learning how to design, like going back to the fundamentals of it all, in order to in order to make this design look good, it needs to be it needs to be structured properly and all of this. And so just having that confirmation that I did good. And then my manager had put in our team group chat, and this is why I knew it was. So I when we was done with the meeting, I ain't think nothing of it. They was just like, I was like, I'm gonna send a follow-up email. Everybody was like, we love it. Thanks, Kiara. I was like, bet, cool, no problem. Glad I could help. Then my
This is what
manager
I
put,
do.
this is what I do. Then my manager puts in the group chat, it was like, join me in giving a round of applause to Kiara Lau. She just gave a presentation to the consumer marketing team and she slayed it. And I was sitting here
Yeah, I
and
remember you sent me
my
that.
heart fluttered. And I was like, this is, I love this. And everybody was like, and
Hey.
somebody was like, I don't doubt it. Everybody was like, as she normally does. And I was like, oh my God, guys, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
So
Yeah.
that part right there, it just further validates that you work with some amazing people. Because again, I can take it to line work. You busting your ass out there in this heat. We know it's hot. Everybody knows it's hot. So we try not to dwell on the fact that it's hot. But when the leader, your quote unquote, your foreman or your general foreman, notices that, hey, these guys ain't bitching, they ain't complaining, you know what? We're going to fall back a little bit. We're gonna talk about things in the morning meeting. I'm gonna express to my crew how much I appreciate their efforts. I'm gonna take them out to lunch and buy lunch, one day this week. Just a little thing, being recognized for your efforts, man. That means that goes a long way with
It
people
goes
who
a
out there putting in work.
long way. It
It
goes
goes
such
a
a long way.
long way.
Just acknowledging, because I didn't realize that was something I desired. So, oh my god, okay, like weird deep like therapy moment here, because I remember from my last therapy session, because I talked about this. But like when I was growing up, I guess I like desired like confirmation that I was doing good. So like, okay, I'm doing good in
We
school,
all.
like good job, I'm doing my chores, good job, so I always expected some sort of reward, whether it's a physical reward, emotional, whatever. And so that's kind of made me like a person who's like always kind of seeking, not looking for validation, but seeking like I want somebody to see I did it. I'm not doing it so you can see I did it, but I want
Mhm.
you to know I did it, so that it's right, it's
Right.
done right, and I did it. And
Right.
sometimes like I do that at work, and like I don't get that recognition, and I be
Mm.
my damn ego don't like that, so I
You
be
done
having
set your,
this.
you done set yourself up for expectations. Them expectations
I've
fuck
been
you up
having
every
to
time.
check myself. My self consciousness. She's a bitch. She be like, I be like, girl, we don't need to acknowledgement for that. And she that is not how she be feeling. But yeah, that was that, that was an amazing feeling to not be in my own head for once. But with all that being said, I had a good week. And I wanted to ask you, when was the time that you were in your own head?
Shit, man, I'm always in my own head too much. Like it's like it's at work sometimes. When you're doing this line of work, and I've been doing it for 15 years or so now. And there's not a whole lot. I'm not gonna say I've seen
Whoa,
everything. I'm not gonna say I know everything.
you've
But
been
there's a
doing
whole
line
lot of
work for
things that
15.
I have. In December, it'd be 15 years total.
Holy moly!
I mean, since I started my apprenticeship,
Oh my
in December of
gosh!
2008. Yeah,
Sheesh. Wow. Okay, sorry.
yeah,
Continue.
15 years. But damn, what was I saying? Oh
Sorry.
yeah, there's not a whole lot of things that we do on the course of a job that I haven't done before or I haven't seen
Mhm.
done before. And sometimes we'll pull up, we might talk about it the day before, what we're going to do tomorrow. And I'll take that information. And I got this from Jamel, because Jamel, he absolutely loves line work. I think I said that on here before. He said sometimes
Mhm.
he dreams about line work. So I was like, man, I ain't never dreamt about it, but let me work on that. So now, if me and him especially, we'll talk about something what we're gonna do tomorrow, and I try to visualize what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it step by step. And like I say, there's a lot of stuff I've done numerous occasions, numerous times, numerous jobs, same stuff. But sometimes you roll up that morning and get ready to do it, and you're sitting there and you just be like, "What the fuck I'm gonna do here?" Like you haven't done it before, and you just be like, now you're guessing, am I good enough to even be out here? This is simple, and I can't figure this shit out. I gotta go ask somebody. It then, like you say, you be in your own head, you be in your own way, and it just happens like that sometimes. But I'm thankful I got his ass, because he'll snatch me back into reality real quick and be like, "Man, what the fuck wrong with you? We just talked about this shit." And I'll be like, "You know what? You right. We did. I got it. I
You're
got it.
right.
I
I
got
know
it."
what I'm doing.
But
I'm
yeah,
just sorry, bro.
yeah, it is I mean, there's all a lot of times in life, with life situations and relationships, you just be like, you know you don't want to have certain conversations. You be in your head with them conversations. I think we might discuss this before, like having tough conversations. Like, that's a version of being in your own head when you're trying to avoid them because you feel
Mm.
like you already know what's gonna happen, or
Yep.
or
Oh,
you're
you just shot
scared
me with that
that
one.
or you're scared that whoever you're trying to have this, or you need to have this hard conversation with, you're scared at how they're going to react to what you might say, and you just be like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make them feel this way, and I don't want them to make me feel this way, so I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not going to say nothing. And
Like
that
I'm
is
I'm
probably
I'm
the
in
most unhealthy thing to do.
like I'm anticipating their negative reaction to what I'm gonna say, and so I'm already in my
Hmm.
sad mood for their negative reaction because I have been putting off the conversation of asking for a promotion. I mean, and now that I'm out of my own head, I'm
Mm.
gonna ask for it. But I just every 1-on-1, she'll be like, "You got anything else to talk about?" And I'm like, "No, no," because I don't.
You don't want to rock the boat.
For some reason, I feel like if I ask her for a promotion, she gonna tell me I'm like being needy or something. Like I feel like I'm gonna get a parental response, even though I know I won't. I don't,
Mm.
but my mind
No,
is
not from
thinking, no,
her.
she gonna tell you being greedy and to go sit down somewhere. But nah,
So I feel
I
like
got it. I got my plan.
I feel like you should have. I feel like you should have. I feel like you should approach that conversation with no expectation. If you can wrap your
That's
head around that,
I've been trying to shake. That's why I literally have been
it's a
mindfully
challenge.
working on
It's a challenge.
shaking the expectation because I just want to blurt it out
Yeah,
because I do that sometimes. Like if I think too much about it, I'll just force myself to do it. So I'm trying to find the opportunity to just be in a 1-on-1 and just be like, yeah, what's the next steps for me to pursue, higher opportunities in
that's
the
a perfect.
organization?
That's a perfect way. That's a perfect way to present it. A
Yeah,
perfect
but
way. I have to say, look, I got the same thing coming up. I can see it. It's coming up in my career. Like it ain't necessarily about a promotion. It's about uh opportunity. So and it's something that I'm gonna have to have a tough conversation with a potential employer here pretty
mm-hmm.
shortly. And it's very necessary. And I'm just
It's
trying
so
right
necessary.
now. I'm not being apprehensive because I don't want to do it. I want to have all my ducks in a row before I do it, and I won't get all my ducks in a row until like tomorrow. So I've been eagerly anticipating what I'm going to hear tomorrow, and then therefore I can move forward with the conversation that I need to have with the other people. So yeah, I can get I got a taste of that going on myself.
Oof.
But it's
Sound
stuff
like
that
we
we
all
have to
going
do,
through it.
and looking
We
out
all
for
gotta do
ourselves.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean,
life be
ultimately,
life.
not having the conversation is not doing you any favor. Like nobody gonna
No,
speak up for you, and like that's what I keep telling myself when I try and talk myself out of asking. I'm like, okay, you're the only person who can vouch for you. Like everybody can vouch for you, but you're the only
you
one that
gotta
you know
ride for
gonna vouch for
yourself.
you. Like, so if you won't ask for a promotion, why should she? She might not even know you want a
She ain't
promotion.
gonna ask you if you want
Yeah,
it.
okay. Because if
she
she gotta
probably
say budget
she probably
dollars,
gonna be like
she holding on to it.
I've been waiting for you to ask. I've just
I'm
been waiting
literally
for you to
waiting on
ask.
this week to pass because this is our annual operation planning week. So everybody's talking money and budgets and finance, and I'm like, can't wait to talk to
Mm.
you in our 1-on-1 next week.
But yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
got. Hey, you liking it to? I'm gonna tell you. I always think of this. Of Cat Williams, one of his comedy specials years ago. He said you always got to be in tune with your star player. As long as you in tune with your star player, can't nobody bring you down.
nope.
So always be in tune with you are your own star player.
Period. Point blank. Period. But
Period. Point blank.
speaking of being in your own head and making a comeback, did you see your girl
Man, did I see it?
Richardson?
I saw. I saw it.
I loved it for
And I'm gonna
her.
tell you,
It made me
I was so
emotional.
happy for that young lady. I was so
Mm-hmm.
happy for her because of all the stuff, the criticism she went through back in the day, from not being able to run in the Olympics because she has some cannabis in her
Marijuana in
system or
her
whatever.
system. Like marijuana should
Yeah,
make
and
you run faster.
Yeah. And I did a little reading on that, and it was like it wasn't necessarily that she smoked, she had it in her system. They was like a lot of the countries that are part of the World Olympic Organization or whatever, a lot of them find marijuana use illegal. So that was their precedent to disqualifying her from the event. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. I get you trying to please the world. You trying to do a thing. I get it.
Why at a
But it
black woman's
still doesn't
expense? Because I'm sure there's some drugs that other
take.
people be taking that is considered
I mean,
prohibited
hey,
in other countries.
they have strips
I'm
and
sure that
nettles of some folks
cocaine
now.
is very, very considered prohibited. But yeah, I was reading her interviews and she was like, I loved all the words she was saying. She said, I'm not worried about the world anymore. She said, I've seen the world be my friend.
I know what
I've
it
seen
feel
the
like.
world turn on me. But at the end of the day,
Mm.
I've always been with me. God has always been with me.
Ride with my
So being
player.
on the scale now is my time. Like that's a hell. I don't know if she had that speech prepared, but that was some good motivation right there.
Young lady.
That need to be on a Nike
That's
commercial.
A resilient young lady.
They need to put that on a Nike. This is what they need to do. I'm finna pitch you my Nike commercial idea. All right. So
what they need to do?
So let's say this is a hypothetical. Marijuana is okay in the world now, but we still look back on the past and see that the world judged Sha'Carri Richardson for having marijuana in her system. Nike, they show Sha'Carri getting up, waking and baking. She getting ready for track practice. She's stretching. And she waking and baking and stretching. She like, man, today gonna be a good day. And then she getting ready, and then her speech is playing. I've seen the world be my friend. I've seen people turn on me. And she's like running and she's running and she's running. But she's thinking all these like thoughts because she's high. So she's thinking very vivid things. And she's like running and running and running. And there's people chasing her, saying all these negative things. And she's running, running, running. Makes it to the track. There's nobody there but her.
Nobody
and then
there
she runs,
but her.
And she runs, and then the Nike symbol.
Just do it.
And that's how you find out that Nike, Nike just released a line of cannabis as well. It's called the Sha'Carri blunt.
Just do it. Just do it.
That swoosh looks like a little blunt. It depends on or a pipe. Depending on how you hold it. The pipe. Just smoke it.
But yeah, shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson, man. Hey, it's also, CJ need to check. I think his kinfolk might have won the male
Noah Lyles
race today. Noah Lyles. He might be related, funny. Man, somewhere down the line.
That's funny because I've asked him that straight up before. But him and Kiara used to run in the same races. Like, so CJ's like used to that question, and people would be like, "Oh, y'all related to him too?" And they would be like, "Nah, we just."
I'd have been like, "Yeah, that's my cousin."
Okay, I was like, y'all should have been like, hell yeah, we track racing cousins. Y'all could have made a publicity stunt out of that. But
a whole publicity stunt. It'd turned out to be a lie, but I mean, you would have rode the wave for a little bit.
That's an easy lie to find out too. Maybe that might not have been a good idea. It's good that they said no, we're not related.
There's some folk walking around that's related to folk, and they been trying to deny it. And
oh Lord, this is not Maury. This is not Maury.
No, I ain't talking about Maury. I'm talking about owners of people who don't want to admit they related to people.
Oh,
because they great grandpappy was sneaking out back to the slave quarters or having her
hey,
escorted to his quarters.
I read so many books
I'm
where
just saying.
somebody had a hidden daughter that they had like left all their fortune to, and everybody's like, "Who is this?" And it's a mixed girl, and they're like,
Yeah.
"My daddy didn't know you," and it's like, "Yeah, he did. He left his money to
They had
her."
a Golden Girls episode like that kind of with Blanche. Her
Really?
I think
I
it
think
was
I.
her nanny or something. Yeah. I loved your daddy. Big Daddy didn't love you. He
Lord have
couldn't
mercy.
have. Boy, these folks something else. I swear for Lord, they something else. They
You be
something
watching
else.
Golden
God
Girls?
bless America. Man, what you
You,
talking about? I love Golden Girls.
I did
I'll
not
sit up and watch
know this.
Golden Girls all day long. Golden,
I love.
hey, that's
I like
Sophia.
watching Golden Girls. So Sydney and Steph,
I'm
my
gonna tell
coworkers,
you.
they love Golden Girls, and Brittany too. So I be watching it like it's my like go
Everybody
to sleep
love
show.
Golden. Who don't like Golden Girls? Like, I got this new app on my Fire Stick, and it's got a 24/7 Golden Girls channel I can watch. Who does not like when Rose tell a St. Olaf story or Sophia say, "Picture this, Sicily." Man, when I tell you that Golden Girls has always been hilarious to me. Even when I was
Huh.
younger, like back in the day when it first came on, I used to love that show.
Huh. The things you learn.
Yeah,
The things you learn on Daily
absolutely.
Dishes. BJ loves Golden Girls. Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. Noted.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
Noted. But yeah, other news in the headlines. Have you seen these robo taxis in on the West Coast? Have you seen or heard about them?
I hadn't really. I saw some Instagram videos. I saw one in
Mm-hmm.
particular where these old men. It was two old men in the back seat, and I think a lady in the front seat of a driverless taxi. It didn't necessarily say where it was at, but the old men in the back, they were just fucking amazed that the car was able to drive them to where they was going with no driver. And it's kind of like the autonomous trucks, man. Like, I got mixed feelings about them. I know I've said if they can cut down on some of the senseless accidents and stuff like that, I get it. But
Yeah,
when you start having accidents on your own,
cause
and you still can't account for human error when somebody run into one of the driverless taxis, it's still going to be a negative mark against the driverless taxi, even though the dumbass human ran into the taxi.
look,
But I don't know what happened
look
between that one and the fire truck. I saw
the
that. That's a
the
problem.
green since the green light on August 10th, then robo taxis got expansion because there's Waymo and then there's Cruise, I think.
Cruise.
So Waymo,
Yep.
I think, is
Yeah.
Google's and or Alphabet's company.
GM bought Cruise.
Okay.
General
So
Motors run Cruise.
10 driverless cruise cars came to a stop and clogged an intersection near the Outside Lands Music Festival. The company said
I
the
saw
vehicle
that.
stopped working because concert goers overwhelmed cell networks, interrupting the car's communications. I, so your driverless car
You
can't pick
can't
me up from
have
a
this.
concert?
Because
Ain't that
too
what
many
this
people
about?
need
There's
a
too many
car to
people.
pick them up from the
So
concert.
I need to be somewhere where it's not a lot of people so you can pick me up. That's some scary shit. You need no. That's weird. Another cruise
and
car drove through a construction site and in cartoon gag
with
fashion got stuck in wet concrete.
stuck in wet cement. I saw that.
Yeah.
I read about that. Then the other one had a collision with a fire truck. I
With the
didn't I
fire
didn't I
truck, a
didn't couldn't
person
tell if the car hit the truck or the truck hit the car. I couldn't tell in what I
let me see.
read.
A person was injured when the autonomous cruise car they were riding in failed to yield to an oncoming fire truck. So I'm assuming they like almost T-boned or something like that.
Yeah, it failed to yield. So okay, now that can be an issue when you start interrupting emergency services and stuff like that, or getting in the way of emergency services. I know I saw the fire chief of San Francisco speaking on that, and she was telling other um, officials in other cities who, in Austin, Texas, they do driverless vehicles, and it was somewhere else. Just be on the lookout because it's gonna happen, and that part right there can be scary because you're talking about people's lives, potential lives.
But also, we grown. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the episode. You couldn't pay me to get no driverless taxi. Not right now.
That's the part. Okay, so when I was started doing a little bit of research on this is the part I don't understand. What do you have going on in your life that makes you so carefree that you are so trustworthy of getting in a car that ain't got no driver and you expecting it to get you to where you want to go? Like, man,
I don't even trust my
I ain't with
car's
that either.
steering wheel assistance. No.
No. I need to be in complete control. I need to be the captain of my ship at all times. I don't need nobody.
I need to have access
come out
to all
they
the
can park
controls
for me. None of that bullshit. I can park this motherfucker. If I can't park it, I don't need to be driving it. If you can't park it, you don't need to be driving it or riding in it. That's how I feel.
I say that a lot. Yeah, I always be when people be like, you can parallel park and stuff. I be like, yeah, my dad, yeah, I know how to do that because I rode in big vehicles.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, when I was in San Francisco, funny enough, I'm wearing a shirt. When I was at the Figma conference in San Francisco, when we went out for drinks afterwards, we watched these guys like get in one, and it was just so weird because they pulled up looking like a little spaceship, looking like some Back to the Future type thing. And I was like, oh my God, there's nobody in the front. And of course, we all drunk. So in the video, it's like, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. Look, guys, there's nobody in the front. Is this a driverless car? Oh, and you're getting in? Goodness. This is yours? How does it work? And then he said something in the video stops, but I would just let natural selection do its thing because I can drive. I might call an Uber or a Lyft. Hell, I might even call a taxi, but it's gonna have a driver in that thing.
It's gonna have somebody in it. I'm rolling with the humans at the end of the day.
Okay, it's me and the humans. Robots, y'all stay over there, please. Stay over there, please. Yeah, in the car, and you know they had to do something because the cars hit and killed a dog. Too, one of the cars.
Oh, they ain't out of business. They ain't got canceled.
Hey, it might be a lawsuit pending.
Damn. Wow, yeah. That's surprising. Can't believe PETA ain't all over their ass.
They annoying asses.
But that's people. Well, people for the ethical treatment of animals. I guess I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, you know that acronym? That's a good Jeopardy question because I did not know that.
You didn't know what PETA meant?
I mean, I guess I never thought to think about what it meant. I be thinking PETA. Oh, PETA.
It's not Lois Griffin. Oh my God.
Literally ever since I knew what it was I hear PETA. Oh, PETA.
Oh,
Lois.
Girl, your ass so crazy. I don't know about you.
And then lastly, we got Japan is dropping radioactive water back into the ocean. And
they basically shitting in the ocean.
It's like I just feel like as the world is, if there's ever like a timer going off, I need all of my clips from me. I need an AI to put together all of my clips of me pointing out all of these clear signs. While, I need that to be the soundtrack. Okay. So I need everybody to hear me when I say, why are they playing in our faces? Japan will start dumping treated water from the decommissioned Fukushima nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean. And it's treated radioactive water, but the water is treated, and the only thing left in it is the thing that is the most radioactive.
Start with a T. I can't remember the name of the word. Tritium or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that nuclear, was it a nuclear plant? Nuclear power plant or something that got destroyed during that tsunami a few years back. I guess they're in the process of cleaning it up or whatever, and they have all this water, contaminated water that they have filtrated and going to start releasing this tainted water back into the Pacific Ocean. And from everything I read, there's I think China, who else? There's a couple other countries that are like against it, but like I don't know if it's necessarily the World Health Organization, but some governing body has said that the amount of nuclear shit in this water isn't at a real high level, so it's not a big deal for them to release it back into the ocean. Meanwhile, I think India and somebody else is like banning the import of fish and seafood and moss and seaweed from this particular area for the foreseeable future. So only time will tell.
Yeah, people are worried about it, like literally killing off whole entire ecosystems. And I feel like, could y'all not have found something else to do with that? Y'all just had to go, like, the one precious resource that they say we need to protect and preserve because we can't make any more of. And y'all just said, oh, let me just throw all this radioactive shit in it, and then my hands are clean. Is that not like
because it's
a war crime or something?
Under a certain level of whatever. I don't know, man. That's how it's the scope of that thing has got to be bigger than what my mind can imagine, because I don't understand why you would be okay to dump anything that's fucking poisonous into a source that has food. I mean, you got people. How many people eat fish in the world? And like in that area, how many people make their living?
And that's their like primary form of protein.
You fishing sensibly, like you need to be trying to stay in harmony with nature. And when you
they're not trying to do that at all. It's like they're just shitting in God's face at this point and being like, we don't care what you created. We are gonna fuck it up, and we dare you to come down humans. Here. I dare you because I'm ready. But yeah, them Japanese settlement checks gonna be real nice when people babies come out with 8 arms. You said earlier like they AI look photos. Like the AI arms. Gonna have a thumb sticking out the cheek. He gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, you gonna get a fish with 2 tails and 4 sets of gills.
But you're gonna be a millionaire though. Yeah, you're gonna have a mermaid. You have a real life mermaid. But yeah, those are all the exhausting headlines. The world is going to shit, y'all.
Let's pray about it.
Hopefully we brought y'all some joy with the headlines. But news, current events. Well, what do you got for me? I heard you had some verbal reviews.
Oh no! Like when I went to the party, soon as I hit the building, loyal listener Anthony Pruden, Tank, aka Tank, which is Marilyn's one of her brothers, he He was like, man, I love it. He said, I love that podcast, bro. I listen to it every time. I don't leave no comments. And I said, man, you need to leave a comment. You leave a comment and let us know. Cause I said, my daughter would love to hear directly from you. I said, I appreciate the love. Keep listening. We got more stuff. I said, I'm going to shout you out on the show next week. He's like, I'm going to be listening. I said, well, I'm going to shout you out, bro. So here you go, Tank.
Hey, shout out Tank. Shout out Tank. I got one from TT Lydia. She texted me. I just wanted to say I love the podcast. I enjoy watching them. Take care, and it's only up.
Yeah, I forgot. You know what? She hit me up at the party too. I forgot about TT Lydia. She sure did. She was like, I love the podcast. Y'all had me crying. I ain't gonna tell you exactly what she said, but
you had to tell me after we stopped recording. She probably said you made a piss on herself. If I know my TT. That's what she said.
Something
and then we got
lines.
we got some comments. I don't know if this one was spam. I ain't gonna say it was spam. No, I think this is actually somebody. They said, what a lovely dad and daughter. Watching your video made me smile. I will do my best to create fun content with my daughter. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna say thank you.
Who is that?
Kenricky Papa. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, so the username is just kind of. And then Empress Eve just commented laughing faces at our last episode. Yeah, she found us quite hilarious. And then I know we got a Dear John. I gotta find it though, but I know he left us one because I was really excited to read it. He came quick. I think he was waiting because I uploaded last week's episode kind of late, and I think he was waiting because as soon as I got to work, or as soon as I logged in, I saw I had a comment, and I was like, already? And it was Dear John.
So that's funny you say that because every morning that one drops. When I wake up that morning, I'm looking for it, right? Mm-hmm. Normally, I'll be watching, and when I get done watching, it'll be like one view on YouTube. So I'll be like, that's got to be Uncle Lil John. He the only person that's gonna beat me to watching the damn podcast.
Let me find out. Okay, why is it not giving me his comments? All right, he said, let me see, 2 days ago. The topics are fire. When y'all spoke on exploiting kids, I was screaming, what about that Sandra Bullock movie? Then y'all spoke on it, and I said, they heard Dear John, LOL. When y'all spoke on number 45, parentheses, P-dump, I saw a survey where people put him over their own family members. Dang shame. The big pick that his followers don't see is that he's a puppet and someone else is pulling his strings. There's always some hocus pocus in politics. Oh, say it again. Again, about E.T. I believe when God stepped out of darkness and started his creation, I don't believe he stopped with just us. Me either. Whoville could actually be a thing. Parentheses, ponder on that. Can't wait till the next episode. Dear John, out! Exclamation point. So get y'all some. I told y'all he was sending us signals. He's sending us secret messages. He told y'all better go study the movie. Go watch them Whovilles.
Go watch the Grinch.
See what messages he got for us. Uncle John's trying to tell us something.
That's funny because every time I go to Nesbitt, I end up watching one form of a Grinch movie or another.
Hey, it's a good ass movie. I learned around Christmas time that I really like that, especially the newer one too. The animated folks, they know what they be doing. But you got any more? And shout out to Alexis. She was not you, Alexa. Oh my God, she was Alexis was my floor mate when I was at Howard, and she tagged me in a screenshot. She was listening to one of the older episodes today, the one I think it was called Standing Up for Myself, and she was like, the world needs more of this. getting some of this goodness this morning or something like that. So shout out to Alexis. Thanks for tagging me and sharing the love and putting the people on to this goodness.
I saw on the Facebook page there was somebody commenting on something.
Conversation I had with oh boy.
Yeah,
that was a interesting exchange.
I wish I would have saw it sooner. That way I would have engaged in it as well. But I figured it had been some time that passed, so I didn't pick it up.
Yeah, it was a conversation in I think the last, was that the last clip? No, not the last clip. The episode before last, I think we talked about the Barbie movie and talked about how y'all only bought me black dolls at first. And so of course someone was like, my sister had a black baby doll and I'm white. Should kids this is so I almost didn't reply for the specific line. Should kids not have Shrek toys because he's green? If there was a Mr. T doll, I pity the fool that says it's only for black kids. So I almost didn't reply for the line about the Shrek line, but then the Mr. T line made me laugh. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna engage. And so I tried to, I gave him a little education, and I think he then missed my point on purpose. And then I brought the point back, and he said he agreed with my point, and then said thanks for the talk. I don't know if he actually agreed or he just agreed so that I would shut up. But what you're not gonna do is come on my post with the what if, ands, and buts.
Some bullshit.
When I'm talking reality.
When the point was there wasn't any black representation dolls. Ain't nobody saying they were only for black. There weren't any. Idiot. I mean, I don't want to call people idiot, but you missed the whole damn point. Idiot who? What else you got?
Lord have mercy. I have something good. This one almost made last week cut, but it didn't. So this one is runner up for the.
This is runner up.
Yes.
This is runner up to under a buck.
No. I don't think I'm gonna get the under a buck like that. That had to be the GOAT episode because that was a GOAT reaction. Like I mean, we'll see. All right, I ain't betting on it. Why aren't koalas actual bears?
Why aren't koalas actual bears? Why aren't koalas actual bears?
Because they don't meet the qualifications.
You know what? Get your ass on this. Hey, we'll see y'all next time. If y'all be good. If you can't be good at it. Qualifications.